If you want to grow your e-commerce brand to over $1 million per month, you're going to need really strong video ads created consistently. So in this video, I'm going to go through 15 examples of diverse video ads that you need to have in your account. Hopefully you can use these to come up with some ideas and create some winning ads. So first up, we have this relatable rant UGC video, essentially a really quick product demonstration and then a rant that's going to resonate directly with the audience. So let's watch that one.
Can someone tell me why I've been spending so much on that?
So immediately we can see that she starts talking and is demonstrating the product at the same time, all in the first 3 seconds of the video. That's going to capture the user's attention and show them a full transformation already in the hook of the video. So you can imagine this is going to be a really strong impact on the audience and viewer.
Lashes when these exist. I am just a uni student. I cannot be spending $100 plus on lash extensions every few weeks or even just refilling strip lashes because that really adds up. Even my parents would judge me if they knew how much I was spending on lashes every week. On the other hand, I bought these magnetic lashes once, and I mean once, and I have been reusing the same pair for 7 months now. I just put them on
and then immediately we're going into the problem solution. So she's comparing the product to other things on the market and then bringing in the actual product that we're advertising.
5 seconds and I'm ready to go. I don't need a lash appointment, I don't need a refill, and I don't need to spend money on lashes every few weeks. This is broke girl luxury.
And then finally showing the brand at the end of the video. So this is a framework that you really want to follow and create multiple variations of. Talking to camera with a direct demonstration in the first 3 seconds of the video, problem solution based storyline, and a nice call to action showing the brand at the end. Okay, so now we have a street interview style. Now my focus in this video is to show you diverse and unique concepts that are really different from one another, and the street interview style is really different to normal UGC. It's really engaging at the moment, really trending, and has the potential to perform really well if you ask the right questions in the interview and frame it in the correct way for your product. So here's a very simple example.
I think this will make the man more dateable. Would you go out on a date with a guy who wears this perfume called Night Fever by Bella Vita? Comes in a luxurious gradient bottle and is super long lasting.
I think I would.
Oh, sorry.
Definitely, absolutely.
So perfume and fragrance is something that's really hard to sell online because you can't actually smell it unless you're in store. So this ad does a really good job of creating the feeling that it wants its audience to have, targeting males and showing them that women are really liking that smell. It creates an immediate desire to purchase the product. So a really strong way of creating an interview sequence that attracts your target audience directly. Now in this example, we have a variation of that, which is a fake interview. So the advertiser is openly saying that this is not a real interview, but it's something fun with a bit of comedy. So it holds engagement much better than a UGC video, but still allows the brand to advertise and showcase their product.
Pretend to do a street interview. Oh my gosh, excuse me, miss, your outfit is fire. What should we all cop?
Oh, these shoes? Boom.
Wait, shoes? Your bag? Are you a magician?
See? They float like paper. This white toe box, total toe freedom. That's why I love them.
So, comfy beach chic?
Totally.
So a short, sharp demonstration of the product. Started off with a really engaging hook that would hold people's attention and have a strong hold rate, which means people continue watching the video and then they get a really strong demonstration of the product. Again, creating that desire. Now, another format that's really diverse and performing really well right now is the podcast creative. So it doesn't have to be the founder, it can be really anyone, but the key is how you bring up your message. So you want to start off with something very natural where it's not even clear what product they're talking about, but you build up the angle so that the right audience gets hooked and engaged, and then at the end of the video you can call out the product. This example does it in a really subtle way, so let's have a look.
I worked at Mecca and I tried hundreds of products and got what was known as Mecca skin, which is when you try all the things and destroy the barrier. So it was textured and just slightly so to the point where I always wanted that glowy glass skin kind of thing. And it was just textured and yeah, very dull. My skin now, it feels bouncy, hydrated. There's no tightness. It's comfortable, glowy. This milk serum is a product that I keep coming back to. It feels really nice to be able to go out and receive a compliment on my skin and know that that's me.
So a really strong hook calling out Mecca, and that's going to attract that audience immediately, and then talking about the problem and then going into the solution in a really subtle way. But even then the brand isn't mentioned, so it's really getting a click through to the website and then allowing that to do all of the conversion. Something like this would be really effective going to a landing page which educates the customer on the product. Now here we've got a UGC video, but it's from a credentialed authority. So that means someone that has authority in the product that is being sold. So here we have a physical therapist that's selling a hydration product, something relevant to the audience that's going to build credibility for the product.
It's my favorite way to increase hydration, and my patients love it. As a physical therapist, I've seen a lot of people who are dealing with overall mobility, muscle cramps, low energy, and slow recovery. A lot of the time, it comes back to hydration. And if water is boring for you, keep listening because this can really help. This is Circle. It's just water, but it allows you to add electrolytes, caffeine, or just flavor to make sipping more enjoyable. The best part, it's made with no sugar, 0 calories, and no artificial colors. From a practical standpoint, I like that it encourages people to drink more water consistently. And from a wellness standpoint, it's a smarter alternative to sugary sports drinks and energy drinks, and especially compared to not drinking water at all. Here's how it works. Pick out your flavor, add your cartridge, fill up with water.
So we can see the focus is really on getting credibility from a reliable source. And this is a really strong warmer audience ad where maybe they've seen the product and understand it, but they don't feel confident in going ahead with the purchase. And by giving them a credible source, it builds that trust and gets them across the line. Okay, so here we have an example of a transformational video. It's about showing the journey from where the customer started to where it ended. And to demonstrate that journey, the video actually uses stock B-roll and doesn't introduce the product itself until later. So the voiceover here is generated with AI to speed up the process and allow the brand to test a variety of different angles. We actually edited this video for this brand and it's performing really well. Let's have a quick look.
$100 on meal prep that went straight in the bin. Here's what I learned. True story, I've been ordering from another meal prep company for over 3 years. You know the one? Starts with M, sells in supermarkets, meals taste, never mind. Every week I'd force myself to eat these bland tiny meals because at least it's healthy, right? We even started calling it my punishment food. Then my trainer mentioned Bondi meal prep. I was skeptical because how different could it really be? First meal, grass-fed steak bowl. I literally checked the label 3 times because I couldn't believe this was healthy food. Juicy steak, perfectly seasoned vegetables, brown rice.
So we're starting with the story and then going in and introducing the brand. So the story has to resonate with the target audience and then they'll have a good hold rate and continue watching. And then we're mixing in actual UGC footage and then we're mixing in the actual UGC footage with the real product. So this is AI supported creative where it's not 100% AI, but we're using AI to make the process of producing this kind of content really efficient. Now here's another example of an AI supported creative. So here again, the voiceover has been generated with AI, but we've mixed that in with UGC footage. The specific hook we're using is a 7-day transformation, so showing people how easy it is to achieve their desired outcome. Let's have a quick watch of this.
This is what happens when you use keratin protein on heat-damaged hair for 7 days straight. This isn't just any hair care system. Perfect Hair's keratin-infused trio is specifically designed for heat-damaged, over-processed hair. So whether you're straightening, curling, blow-drying, or constantly coloring, Perfect Hair has got your strands covered. The hydrolyzed keratin and silk proteins actually rebuild your hair structure from within.
So a very strong hook that directly calls out the audience that's having this problem, which is heat-damaged hair. And then we're calling out the transformation that happens within a 7-day period of using that product. So again, really creating that desire in the customer to achieve that outcome. Now here we have another diverse example, which is a green screen hook that's recorded their video and then that's been green screened on top of a research paper. But really you can do this in a variety of different ways. You could have it on top of a PR article, you could have it on top of your product page or a blog article, or you could even have a customer review in the background and just talk about what that review is saying. We've seen it do well in a lot of ways, but the concept is that you've got a green screen, so you're interrupting the normal pattern of someone seeing a consistent video with, you know, a person in front of a background. So let's have a look at this.
Breaking news for menopausal women: weight loss response to semaglutide in postmenopausal women with and without hormone therapy use. This was published this month in the Journal of the Menopause Society. These researchers wanted to study the weight loss response and changes in cardiometabolic risk, not on metabolic risk. Adiposity with weight loss saw decreases in all cardiometabolic risk factors. However, the hormone therapy group saw.
So that was a very long video, not the best in terms of a hold rate and making it engaging, but I think it's a good example of a green screen diverse concept, which you definitely want to be testing in your account. Now here's an example of some ways that you can play around and have some fun with your hooks. So this is using a trend, the hell yes or hell no interactive game, and then going into the product with that problem solution style again. So let's have a look at this.
Hell yes, hell no. I'm gonna go with getting body odor at work. 3, 2, 1. Hell no, which is exactly why we created this. This is a deodorant that controls odor better than Old Spice, and it also has been clinically proven to block body odor all day long. The beauty of our stuff is we're not masking odor with fragrance, we're actually stopping odor before it starts because we're powered by mandelic acid. Odor forms when bacteria on your skin eat sweat.
So using the hook to capture the person's attention and then going to the product and really explaining the benefits of it in detail and how it stands out from the competition. Another thing to note is the environment and demographic of this creator. So you can see that this is the founder themselves, and they're in a very kind of masculine environment, wearing a specific type of clothing, appearing in a specific way to really engage and resonate with the demographic that they're aiming for. So that's something you want to keep in mind when you're choosing what sort of creators you're working with. And you might find that in your account you have a certain type of creator, but to reach a new audience, you need to have a variety of different demographics to be able to unlock new pools of audiences through the algorithm, but that comes from the creative and who it resonates with. Now we've got an example of something completely different, which doesn't even have a person in it, and that's having a text overlay on top of the video. So there's so many different ways that you can do this. You could have a review, you could have a promotion that's being called out, or you could just have a looping boomerang video in the background, something very simple, but you want to have these kind of 5 to 10 second, really fast looping videos with a bit of text overlay. They're really easy to produce, really easy to test different angles and messages. And again, it's a lot more effective if you send these ads to a landing page, which means that the video itself doesn't need to do all of the selling. It just needs to create curiosity and get people to click through. After that, the landing page can do all of the education and selling for you. So this is one example. This is for a software product, so not 100% relevant, but it's just an example of the type of creative that you could have in the account.
Snap, click, flash, frame, life will never be the same. Click, 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 perfect, take the shot, slip, drip, fizz, clean, drink, bottle, sing with chrome and pink, word, zoom, pop.
So really fast paced, and we have background images changing, but then you've got that text overlay at the front that stays the same, and you've got the music and audio syncing with the transitions in the background. So I think that creates a lot of engagement and potentially curiosity for the product, which allows people to click through to the website. Now we've got another diverse example, and in this one we actually have the voiceover that is sung like a song, which makes it a bit more musical, potentially more engaging, and then you have the text overlay that's on top of that. So let's have a look at this.
If you can't do 50 push-ups, skip the gym, 20 minutes a day. Real strength! A body that inspires, give me 50 days to feel the difference. Starting on Monday, March 16th, we kick off the calisthenics challenge for those who feel stuck at the beginner level. Just 15 minutes a day to build a snatch, waist, tone, glutes, and finally outgrow beginner workouts. By March 23rd, you'll feel it.
So again, just a really diverse example where it's not a boring text overlay. The start is like a typical ad, almost like a banner that you'd see outside somewhere, but the focus is on the audio, the musical experience, and the text overlay getting the message across and resonating with the right audience. And then once it captures that attention, it goes into the B-roll footage. Okay, so another diverse example. This one's a bit harder to pull off, and it really depends on what sort of product you have. But in this one, we've got a personified ingredient character. So this is actually using animation, which has become a lot easier to do with AI. But again, it's really going to depend what sort of brand you have. But let's have a look at the example. It starts off with a story, and then it kicks into a kind of cartoon animation style. And the thing to remember is that with these diverse concepts, there's a certain type of audience that responds to each type of concept. So while it might not feel like, the specific customer that you're currently talking to is the one that would resonate with this ad, you can actually unlock new pools of audiences by testing these diverse concepts.
Your joint supplement has one ingredient. Your cartilage needs 6. Here's the dream team that's been missing.
I'm bone marrow, the one nobody talks about. Grass-fed, pasture-raised, loaded with growth factors and stem cells. Your ancestors ate me every single day. Modern diets forgot I existed. I'm the foundation, and without me, these other guys are just spinning their wheels.
I'm glucosamine. You've probably heard of me. I'm famous. But here's the thing. I can't rebuild your cartilage alone. I need my partner chondroitin, and I need the foundation bone marrow just laid. That cushion between your joints? I'm rebuilding it, but only if the whole team shows up. I'm chondroitin, glucosamine's other half.
So it's going through every single ingredient and showing how they need to be working together. Obviously a very unique concept, but if there's a way that you could use this with your product or your brand, then potentially something to consider testing. So here we've got a negative hook where you're actually telling someone to stop, and before they consider purchasing the product. So this is going to work really well with a warm audience. Again, you're breaking all of the objections that they might have about the product to get them over the line.
Stop! Do not buy the viral Halo extensions until you watch this video. Here's what you must know first. 1. It's the only extension that won't damage your hair. No clips, no paste, no heat, no chemicals. Unlike other extensions that pull your hair and can cause thinning and permanent damage, that hair halo is a game changer for that reason. 2. It securely stays in place and won't fall off. 3. Super lightweight and won't give you headaches, so you can wear it all day long. 4. Instantly adds volume and length in just...
So it's basically giving 5 reasons why people actually need to buy the product, but the hook starts off by saying stop, and this is why you shouldn't buy the product, or this is what you need to know before you buy the product. And it's calling out the product as a viral sensation. So even though it's saying stop, it's building credibility at the same time. It's also a really good example of a listicle style where you're listing certain points one after the other, and that kind of helps the hold rate and creates a lot of engagement. And what would be really cool is taking this to a landing page and that then has that same listicle and those same points to really reiterate them and get people across the line. And finally, we've got a storytelling creative. So this is about showing a transformation through a story.
I lost 15 kilograms eating steak. No, this isn't a joke. Picture this: juicy steak with gravy, and you're losing weight. Welcome to keto, where you eat delicious fats and watch your body transform. Science made simple. No carbs equals body burns your fat for fuel. 24/7 fat burning. But people mess up thinking bacon all day works. Real keto needs quality and balance. Bondi meal prep made it idiot proof. Perfect ratios. Grass-fed beef ready in 3 minutes.
So instead of having to show a transformation, which can sometimes be hard to get, you're just calling it out in the voiceover and then mixing that in with relevant brand footage to continue the message. So I hope you found that helpful. If you haven't already, check out this video on static ads. I actually go through, similar to this one where we went through videos, I go through the best static ads and graphics, which are the diverse concepts that you should have in your account to scale to $1 million+ per month. If you need help producing creatives, this is something that we do for our clients, helping them create 50+ ads every single month, diverse concepts to avoid creative fatigue and scale every single month consistently. So if you want to get in touch, click the link below and let's have a chat. I'll see you in the next one.